And so that's why you're supporting the guy who had the most billionaires and Wall Street CEOs in his administration than any other.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Joe Rogan getting demolished. I'm playing a clip from the Kyle Kulinski show to give some context, as well as a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience with some of my commentary. Let's get into it.
So even by your own standard of COVID and the vaccine being the biggest thing that led to your political transformation, Donald Trump did Operation Warp Speed, which got us the vaccine, and the lockdowns occurred under him. And you're still meat riding. Vibes. He's all vibes.
Which is a devious little thing that they've done, where they eliminated all sorts of other remedies. They cut out all these generic drugs that possibly could have been used to help people. They denied people the use of monoclonal antibodies.
Joe, who makes monoclonal antibodies? Who makes monoclonal antibodies? Is it fucking Walmart? Is it a mom and pop drug shop? Who makes monoclonal antibodies? Oh, that's right. Pharma does. So corrupt big pharma feeding you a vaccine that doesn't work. This is what he thinks on one hand. But on the other hand, trying to hide and not offer people monoclonal antibodies, which is also made by big pharma? Somebody square that circle for me. Somebody make that make sense. Somehow big pharma bad for the vaccine, but big pharma good when it comes to the monoclonal antibodies? What am I going to do with these people? What am I going to do with these people?
Fucking shit out of this one thing so they can make money off of it. And they did it in collusion with...
I love it. Oh, yeah, okay. So he's talking about, big pharma and all their profits, and it's terrible. What 100% agree. But where you're wrong, Joe, is that doesn't mean they're selling people poison or selling people stuff that doesn't work. The problem is the price gouging. Not that the medicine doesn't work. In fact, the medicine works. You know what medicine doesn't work? Bullshit fucking supplements. Bullshit alternative medicine, snake oil nonsense. By the way, stuff your buddy Alex Jones sells all the fucking time. Super male vitality, whatever other fucking bullshit he's selling. It's the alternative medicine that's total horseshit, where people are robbing you. The pharmaceutical drugs work, but the problem is they price gouge you. We can fix that by nationalizing big pharma. By the way, Crystal asks RFK, do you support nationalizing big pharma? Because all this guy does is complain about big pharma. She's like, okay, should we nationalize it? Get rid of the profit motive? He goes, no, I don't want to do that.
Right here, we have Joe Rogan, who's expressing his distrust in the vaccine. And, Kyle Kulinski's coming in saying, hey, look, both of these are coming from big pharma. Whichever one you are subscribing to, Joe Rogan, either one is coming from big pharma. And I think this is where Joe Rogan gets it wrong, is that he is going to not trust in these institutions due to, they're operating underneath capitalism. They're all wanting to just generate profit. That is their main focus. But instead of calling that out, instead of calling out like, oh, it's a systemic problem and channel it into the bigger issue, he's going to get caught up with this political stance of, oh, the vaccine is bad, yada, yada. And then now you have it causes divide. It causes the biggest rift in between him and everyone else. And now, of course, he's not going to trust it because what we said, but this doesn't mean become reactive and then, get seduced into a bunch of misinformation.
So what you want to do is bullshit people about the vaccine, something you know nothing about, and act like it doesn't work, and not do the thing that would actually solve the price gouging in big pharma, which is nationalize it.
No one acted like a journalist. No one looked at the excess deaths. No one looked at the instances of myocarditis in young people. No one looked at any of that.
COVID, and this was explained to Joe's face. Somebody explained this to Joe's face on his own podcast, that the instances of myocarditis from COVID are worse in young people than the vaccine-caused myocarditis. I think it was Josh Zepps, fact-checked him to his face, and he had to be like, okay, and now he still brings it up, myocarditis. Even though myocarditis from COVID in young people is worse than vaccine myocarditis. There are more people who get myocarditis from the actual virus than do from the vaccine.
It just showed everyone that the whole system is bought and paid for.
And so that's why you're supporting the guy who had the most billionaires and Wall Street CEOs in his administration than any other administration in YouTube history, in U.S. history. Everything's so corrupt, everybody's so bought that I'm going to support Trump, who is the most bought.
And the only way you could find out who a person really is to listen to them talk for long periods of time.
That last part is astonishing that he said those words. Let me play it for you one more time.
All corrupt. And the only way you could find out who a person really is to listen to them talk for long periods of time.
Has he literally never heard of a con artist? Has he literally never heard of a fraudster? Somebody who has the gift of gab and is very charismatic, but is fucking full of shit and lying to you? Has he never heard? Yeah, you could listen. Somebody could come across as the most honest, decent person ever in a podcast, but then come to find out they're a fucking mass murderer. Oh, wait! That literally happened. Joe had on the Innocence Project dude who brought on some dude who was supposed to be a criminal justice reformer who served time, but it was bullshit that he got locked up. And come to find out that guy like beheaded somebody and shoved their head in a freezer, and it happened after that person was on Rogan's podcast. So Joe, you would think maybe a little bit of humility when you pride yourself on your bullshit detector, but you sat across from a fucking murderer for 3 hours and let him sell you a story about how unfairly treated he was by the system.
And this is exactly how Joe Rogan went down this pipeline, is that, we have Donald Trump who plays off of this distrust. He exploits, the fact that the public does not trust the American government for, because they stink in general. So the fact is that Donald Trump comes in, he's playing himself as an outsider, that he's going to challenge this corrupt system. We have people like Rogan and like his audience that's just going to believe this. But I don't really blame Trump. I blame these neoliberal policies, the deindustrialization, the corporate dominance. Of course, people aren't going to trust the government. They have no reason to. This is creating the best ground for someone to come in as a savior, to come in and say, hey, look, I'm going to be the one to stand up. And it's obviously, we have no one else to blame. We're looking at it right in front of us.
You would think that from that moment on, it's like, wow, maybe my judge of character is not as good as I thought it was. So maybe I'll, hold back on making claims like doing a podcast with somebody is the best way to really get to know them. Are you fucking kidding me? No, Joe, especially when dealing with politicians. You look at their record. You look at the shit they actually did. That's the best indicator of what they're going to do. So, nothing from Joe on the actual way to learn the most about Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or anybody, any politician. Nothing on that from him. So if you actually look at Trump's record, wow, massively cut taxes for the rich and corporations. What a populist. Lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs when he ran on bringing back manufacturing jobs. Presided over a loss of 2.9 million jobs in total for his 4 years. Under him, 3 million people lost their health insurance. What part of this is something that's good, Joe, that's worthy of you supporting him? He filled the NLRB with union busters to screw over workers. His labor department stiffed 8 million people out of more overtime pay. He increased drone strikes over 400% and bombed Syria and bombed Somalia and ripped up the Iran agreement and tried to coup Venezuela. And like, you could actually just go to the record of the people and figure out what they're actually about. But no, you sat there across from one of the best bullshit artists of all time and fell for it. And now you're full vibes based. Full vibes based.
So there we have it, you guys. I mean, this has led Joe Rogan into nothing but rabbit holes, nothing into these echo chambers now. He's hanging out with Dana White. He's hanging out with all of these people that don't necessarily care about what Joe Rogan is even having to say, but now they can all rally behind, oh, they've been disenfranchised. Oh, they feel like they've been alienated. It's given them all this sense of identity that it's all nothing but a scam. They've been scammed by Trump, believing that he actually cares about them, when in reality, the cost of living has never been higher. There's no such thing as job security nowadays. It's poor health care, housing instability. We can continue to go on and on about all of these conditions that we're having. I know you feel them. I know I feel them, because we're all starting to feel them as a whole. If you're not making $100,000, if you're not making more than 100, even if you're making 100 grand, I know you still see the grocery prices, man. And that is the only way to talk to people that have been stuck in this delusion. They are in love with the spectacle. We've been trained to fall in love with the spectacle. I mean, MTV, all of that crap. Trump has been on Apprentice. He was a part of this spectacle before he was it writes itself, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. It's another day in the progressive way.